Okay, just doing a quick update on the fry here. And as you can see, I've got a variety going on in there. A number of different sizes. I'll try to get a bit better look for you in a few moments. Some of them have grown very, very quickly and outpaced their brothers and sisters in here. And some are still a little on the smaller size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the larger ones, primarily all the black ones, although there are a few yellow as well, move them into the upper tank here, and just to give a bit more variety as far as what I can feed and whom. I do have some of the Sakai Hikari growth food that I'm going to be feeding to the ones that I'm going to be hanging on to, the multicolored ones here. And then the other koi will get still a mix of food, but that will be in the bigger tank. So just allow me to control feeding a little bit better. So I'm going to separate some out now. Once I have that done, I will let you take a quick look at what's left in the lower tank. And also take a look at what's left in the upper tank. And we'll see how things go over the winter and how the growth goes. And then I'll be able to make a good selection, hopefully in the spring. So I will be back with a little update here. It's only going to be a short video this time just to show you what's going on, and I will pick things up in a few minutes once I get some of these guys moved. Alright, hopefully you can see the ones that I have in here now. These are the ones that are going to be staying in the lower tank, and we'll watch and see how they do if they get the additional growth food, the Sakai Hikari I mentioned a few moments ago, along with a little bit of higher protein food. And then the remainder of the ones that were in the bottom quarantine tank here are roughly the same number, but they're primarily all black with a few of the yellow ones and a couple of the orange ones, and they've gone into the other tank. So I'm going to move these guys back into the lower tank and get everything running again for them. Quite a mixture. I think some Showa, some Sankei, I think some Shirobeko. I think there's potentially one Shisui in there. Just kind of coming around the corner there. I just will have to wait and see what develops over the winter months. But I just want to give you a quick update and an idea to let you see how these things are, how the fish are doing. And as I say, they're doing pretty well. I'm just going to put my hand in to give you an idea of the size of some of them. So they are moving along, fairly well here, considering they were all from an accidental spawning. So hopefully they're going to do well. As I said, everything's going to be running up in this tank here for the ones that I just showed you a moment ago in the blue container, and the others going to definitely be harder to see there in here. But they're all kind of hiding at the end at the moment until I get the filter and everything running once again. So on that note, I'm just going to end the little segment of the video here. Hope you found this bit interesting. As I said, I will be doing some updates as these fish start to grow and get larger. As you saw a few moments ago in the video, I have separated out the fry from my unplanned spawning this summer. The ones that I was or am planning to keep are in the lower tank, which is here, and the ones which will be sold off or something next year as they grow a little bigger are in the upper tank here, and you can just kind of see a few of them cruising around there. You'll also notice as I'm moving the camera around here that the filter that was sitting up on the tank here is now sitting here and is turned off. And the reason for that is I'm in the process of putting together a cover to go on this tank to help keep the warmth in the water. I already have one on the lower tank here, and I have a tank heater, an aquarium heater. It's a 500 watt heater that is in the lower tank, so the water, when it circulates, it goes through both tanks and gets the heat up there. But the problem in the basement during the winter, although it's obviously much warmer than it is outside, the water temperature down here still stays pretty cool, in around the 16, 17 degree range, something like that. I want to get it up in around that 25 mark throughout the winter so that I can get the koi growing at a much more rapid pace. And as I had mentioned previously as well, And I'll just kind of show you here. This is the Sakai Hikari growth that many of you, I'm sure, have seen and have used. That's going to be the primary food source for the koi that are in the lower tank here. And that's the Sankei, the Shewa, I believe Shisui, and a few others in there. And then the ones that are up here are just going to get a variety of different foods, but they won't get the growth food, certainly to the same degree that the little ones are. So as I said, I'm doing a cover that's going to go on top of this tank. And once that's in place, then the filter will go back up where it was. Now it is netted, and that was to keep the little guys there from jumping out. But the net obviously doesn't retain any heat. And once the heater is running, I want to maintain as much heat as possible to help minimize electricity costs over the course of the winter. So I'm going to just put the camera down now, and I will show you once I have the components of the cover in place, and just kind of explain what I've done, and then I'll get things up and running again. So I will be back in the video very shortly. Alright, I now have the cover completed and ready to get the filter back in place. You can see I have the rigid Perspex back here, and that's where the filter is going to sit, with that hole where the return from the filter is going to go. So right back over here. And then the front portion of the pond I have covered with some thin rigid plastic. It's very thin, so it is a little flexible, but it should do well. It is supported along here. There's a couple pieces, which is why the tape is there. But as you can see, that covers now the entire tank. And once the filter is in place, I'll be able to get things up and running and get the heat turned on to start warming up the pond. So I'm going to get the filter in place now, and then I will get it running. And once that is done, just a quick check to make sure that everything's functioning the way it's supposed to, and I will let you see that. So I will be back in just a few moments. You can see that I now have everything back up and running. The filter is up where it belongs and is operational. The lower pond, I've cleaned all the mess off the top of the lid here. And so the water, just as a recap, comes up through the hose here from the pump that's in this lower pond, feeds up into the filter, and then goes through the filter and out an opening in the back down into the upper pond. The blue hose that you see right here, that is for the waste that's used when I'm cleaning the filter, and I will be doing that probably in the next few days. Just I generally do all the filters and water changes about once every 7 days, so that'll be happening about mid towards the end of next week, because I've already done it for this week. And I just wanted to kind of point out, as I said, the reason that I made the change, there's actually two reasons. For the heat that I mentioned a few times. The other reason that I put the clear top on here is in order to get light in for the koi that are in here. I do have the darker cover that I would use when this is just simply set up as a quarantine system, but I didn't want the upper koi here to be left in the dark. So this, having a clear cover on there now, gives them ample light. It's a little more than half of the tank. Filter sitting back there, as I mentioned, so that's in shade if they want to kind of hide it a little bit. The light is on a timer, which is kind of right there. It, like all the other lights down here for the tanks, come on in the morning and go off again in the evening, so I don't have to worry about that happening. The heater that I have on there now, you can see it showing at 69, which is obviously Fahrenheit. I have adjusted it to show up to 73 Fahrenheit, and that's about 22, I believe, in Celsius, somewhere in that range. I will update everybody on how that is going as things progress. So I will end things here. Thank you all for hanging in if you've done it to this point. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it in the appropriate comment area below. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like and subscribe button, as your feedback and your support is always very much appreciated. And remember to keep calm and keep koi.